Welcome in to Dean's Sports Report, where I have insider chats covering all LA teams, just the major teams, not any of the lowbrow teams. I'm talking Clippers, Angels, Chargers. You know the deal. So Rams, Lakers, Dodgers. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for tuning in today. Super excited. I have Noel Sanchez of Dodgers Nation in. Noel, thanks for joining in, man.
Of course, Dean, I'm a big fan of the work you do, and thank you for having me on today, man.
Likewise. So let's get into it. I mean, for those that don't know, and I would love to hear a little bit more myself, just what you do with Dodgers Nation and how it's been covering, the team over the years.
Yeah, so as of right now, I'm the social media manager and I'm a reporter for Dodgers Nation. So I oversee our Instagram, our Facebook, our X, Threads account, oversee all the content going out on there. And also, this is the first year that I've been able to get media credentials to games. So I've been to about 12 home games and one away game so far this season. So really just trying to capture everything that it's like when you get in as media, from pregame workouts to pregame scrums with Dave Roberts, hearing about roster updates, injury updates, going into the clubhouse before and after games, getting the quotes from the players, talking about the performance, talking about what's to come in the season, and really just being able to capture, everything that you see across our Dodgers Nation socials. And I started off as a writer in 2023, and later into that season, I moved into the social media side, and thankfully it was right before Shohei signed. So I was able to get in my reps. And yeah, for the past 2 seasons now, I've been covering them on social media and then also doing my own videos on the side, just breaking down unique stories about the team, backstories, events coming up, and just trying to cover angles that, people might not want to read about, but they'd rather hear someone talking about it and gather all their information through social media.
100%, man. I love the side also. I respect it. I mean, I'm trying to kind of do a similar thing. And, with Dodgers, you came at the perfect time, obviously winning the World Series last year, the whole Shohei and the whole dynasty, really what's going on now. I was curious to see how many games you went to per season because, obviously baseball, unlike any sport, is, 160 games in a season. And for you to be going to, minimum like 80 home games at a season, that definitely, puts a big spell on you. But do you, I guess, just starting off the bat, do you have like a favorite interview or story you've covered so far? I mean, I know it's hard to, with the Dodgers, it's like either you love them or hate them, but I'm sure being
Yeah.
around the team like on your own, and do you have that bias as well? Or is it still kind of like business as usual? Or, when Shohei's putting up a new record every single week, is that still crazy for you?
It's really hard, to kind of separate the fandom from also the professionalism of the business, because I myself grew up in Los Angeles, grew up a big Dodger fan, Lakers and Dodgers, everything in my household, USC as well. So yeah, no, it's crazy, man, because it's a blessing to be able to do this for a living, to be able to not just only cover the Dodgers, but do it when it's looking like it's going to be the golden era. There's a good chance they could go back to back and do something really, really special for the city. But yeah, just being able to connect with the players, it's been awesome because, everybody puts them on this pedestal, and rightfully so. These guys are doing something that only 1 to 2% of the entire world can do at the professional level. But these guys are also human. It's like they like clothes, they like cars, like movies, just like we do. And I feel like that's what I've been able to realize. It's like, going in there and like being able to be media and build the relationships with them. They appreciate it when not everything is just about what happened in this game. Why are your numbers down? What's going to happen next week when you return to the team? And to answer your question about like favorite interview, I think my personal favorite that I've done so far is I was able to interview Tommy Edman one day after he signed his extension last offseason. So everybody was still riding the high from the World Series wave, but it was cool because the Dodgers got right to work. I remember they picked up the team option on Austin Barnes, team option on Miguel Rojas, and then immediately after, I want to say they inked Tommy Edman to his big extension. So just being able to sit down with him, I remember it was right after Thanksgiving. So yeah, we chopped it up about, what he ate at his Thanksgiving dinner. He told me he was really excited to be a Dodger long term. And he said that ever since he got traded to the Dodgers, he was hoping that he was going to be able to stick around. And, of course, NLCS MVP played a big role all throughout that postseason. So yeah, I've been able to interview some really, really cool players on the team, but I think that one's my favorite so far.
I love that. I think it's important that you see kind of the other side of things, that these players are, actually humans too. I just graduated from Boulder in Colorado, and the whole media movement there was surreal because everyone like just wanted to, anything for clicks was going around with Colorado. So everyone kind of forgot that, Deion Sanders is a human. Like there's more behind the scenes that Shador and Travis are going into, but it is, with the Dodgers and with a team like the Dodgers that obviously have this dynasty, and they've won the last 11 out of the 12 NL West titles. They're, year in and year out, they're the top of the division. this year has been a little different. I think the Padres, I just felt that, from a fan's perspective, the Padres have definitely been inching a little bit closer and closer. I think they're 2.5 games back right now. October baseball is just a couple weeks away. So I guess just give me the pitch. Can this Dodgers team go back to back?
I still think that they have some of the best chance in all of baseball, if not the best chance. Just with there's really no other powerhouse, and I tip my hat to the Brewers. They've been playing amazing baseball. They had the Dodgers number earlier this season, and it's crazy to think a team like that, that has been able to put everything together and has been able to kind of rise to the top of the National League. So I tip my hat to them. I think they're playing incredible baseball. But other than them and the Phillies, I think the Dodgers, they still have a clear shot to get back to the World Series. They haven't had to play a wild card in a while. So that's going to be something that if it comes around, they're going to have to adjust. But what helped the Dodgers last season, they all said it was they stuck together during that break they had after winning the division, after the regular season was over. In past years, when they would fizzle out in the NLDS, they were taking breaks, going with their families, going home, which is fine. Everybody needs to decompress and get ready for the postseason in their own way. But the team saw that didn't help them. So, Dean, maybe if they have to play extra games before the postseason, maybe that's just going to help them get out of this funk that they've been in, And I personally think with the pitching rotation being as healthy and being as productive as it's been these last few weeks, it's a really, really good sign. I think the pitching staff is going to give the Dodgers a great chance to win every single game of the postseason. And it's just about the bats coming alive and these dudes, being who they are. Teoscar Hernandez getting a little bit healthier, finding his swing again. Mookie Betts continuing to stay strong and not fall back into that slump we saw earlier this season. And really Shohei just being great. I think this is, last postseason we got glimpses all throughout of who Shohei could be in that moment. And he had some really good moments, that 3-run home run in game 1 of the NLDS that kind of led the Dodgers to win that series and move forward. But I think we're going to see a different version of Shohei this postseason, pitching, going crazy at the plate. I still think the Dodgers have a really good shot, man.
No, for sure. I mean, when you have, 3 MVP, or I guess even 4 MVPs on your team, anything is possible. I think injuries has definitely been what's been hurting at least the starting rotation and whatnot. So I think with everyone coming back healthy, I think the World Series, it's crazy enough to say, but every single year having this type of team is just World Series or bust. And we look at a guy like Shohei. I mean, we've gone a little bit too long in this podcast without just talking about Shohei, maybe
somehow
glazing him a little bit. But man, he hit his 100th home run in less than 2 seasons already with the Dodgers. He has the opportunity to win his 4th MVP, 3rd in a row, and he's finally back on the mound. I know he was sick yesterday, but he's finally back, a part of the rotation. And it really does feel like he's breaking records almost every week. As someone who's covering every Dodger game, can you explain how good he actually is to the casual fan? To the casual fan, because to me, he's going to end up probably the greatest athlete / baseball player of all time without question. So for the casual fan, how crazy is it that Shohei is playing 2 ways and doing it at such a high level?
I mean, it's something that I never thought I was going to see, Dean, I'm sure you remember too, hearing whispers when he was first coming over to MLB and that he was going to give this a try. He was going to try something that we hadn't seen since Babe Ruth. He was going to try something that a lot of, honestly, athletes try when they go to high school, go to college, and then scouts just tell them, just stick with pitching or stick with your alpha position. It's never you're going to do both when you get to MLB. So, man, it's there really isn't any words to describe it. There's been athletes in other sports that go 2 ways that people have tried to compare, but it's really not comparable. The hardest thing to do in sports is to hit that 100-mile-per-hour fastball coming at you. I mean, there's always the debate. Can basketball players translate to football? Can football players translate to basketball? Nobody ever talks about baseball because it's just something else entirely. And I mean, you see the TikTok edits, you see the Instagram reels when Shohei, he pitches that first inning and he immediately has to get ready to go bat leadoff. It's just insane, man. And I tip my hat to the dude. He gets his sleep. He has a nutritionist. He has his workouts around the clock. He has built his life entirely around being the greatest baseball player of all time. And I mean, just to anybody that doesn't watch baseball, I would definitely recommend, bro, you got to go to at least one Dodger game where Shohei's pitching to really experience this, because this is something we might not ever see again.
It is really surreal. And I think, it's been, I guess, a little of a slower journey for him as a pitcher with the Dodgers, obviously not pitching last year. So I think Dodger fans still don't realize 100% Shohei pitching, might even be better than he is behind the plate, which is crazy to say. I know, I was listening to him I think it was just last month on the Pat McAfee show, and McAfee was like, does pitching Shohei, strike batting Shohei out or whatnot, and he was like, I think he can't. Like, I don't know. It's funny because I mean he barely even speaks English, but he's the GOAT, man. So obviously it's awesome to watch. And
it's funny because when he does respond in English, I feel like it's always so tough. Like I remember Jack Harris of LA Times asked him before the NLDS last year. He was like, it's your first postseason game. Are you nervous at all? And he was like, no.
He literally just has to say like one word, and you can just feel the aura.
Feel the aura, man.
That's what I'm saying. Sweet. So we're talking about GOATs a little bit. I got to talk about my guy, Clayton Kershaw. I think he's my favorite Dodger of all time. I think a lot of Dodger fans would say that as well. And he's having a very surprising season. Obviously, being hurt last year. This year, he's 9-2. He went 5-0 in August. Obviously, he's the longest tenure of any Dodger player, 18 years. And, he reached 3,000 strikeouts. I think he was the 20th pitcher to do that this season. I guess just coming back from injury, he's really proven that he still can be an ace and we can trust him down the road in October baseball. How big of a surprise has Kershaw been for this rotation? And do you think, how much left do you think he has in the tank?
He's been a blessing, man. He's been a blessing this season, especially when, Glass went down, Snell went down. When Yamamoto, he started out strong, but then he had a couple of rough starts. Kershaw coming in and being able to stretch out 5-6 really, really solid innings. And against really good teams too. There was that Padres series. He set the tone in that first game when I think they won. It was either at Dodger Stadium or Petco, but it was that first big meeting when the division race was really close a couple of weeks ago. Right. And he had that bad start just a couple of games ago. He that was crazy when he caught that 111 mile per hour comebacker. I mean, so he's still got some juice in him, man. And he's just been super, super big for the team this year. And I think at the All-Star break, he was saying that it's going to be tough for him to get a postseason spot. But that just shows he's hungry. He knows that this rotation is really talented, but he also knows that injuries could kick in at any time for him or for anybody else on the team. And I really think he wants to play a role in this team winning the World Series. As happy as he was at that parade, doing the Dodger for life, holding up the trophy, right. The dude is a competitor. Everybody that has watched baseball knows that he's going to go down as one of, if not the greatest pitcher of all time. And he doesn't want to sit in the dugout. He doesn't want to mentor while he's healthy, while he's still under contract with his team. He wants to contribute to another World Series because the man should have multiple. He really, really should. He got cheated out in 2017. I mean, he did so much for the team when he didn't have any run support. He didn't really have any other pitchers on his side. So it's beautiful to see it come full circle, man, and see him healthy, see him happy, see him growing his family, having his kids in the stands. I mean, I always see him before the game. He's working out, he's stretching, and then his kids come out, he's playing catch. So I think he's in a good spot mentally, physically, and it's going to be cool, man. That's why I'm saying, even if they have extra games the wild card round, he'll be able to sneak into a DS game. He'll be able to sneak into a CS game, and that's going to be awesome. Imagine a home playoff game with Kershaw going 5-6 innings, getting 8-9 Ks. That would be awesome.
The atmosphere would be absolutely wild. I think he's definitely a fan favorite. And not saying, obviously he's coming into his last couple of years. It's kind of like the LeBron narrative where it's he still has a lot left in the tank, but people don't really see him as the ace he still is. But I mean, the record shows it. So, when Kershaw's pitching nowadays, as long as we can get some runs for him, I guess he didn't get the loss against the Pirates there, but when our offense is moving, I think you can really put up anyone there, which is the funny thing.
Yeah. And I do kind of feel like the guys, whenever Kershaw's pitching, they do go a little bit harder trying to get that run support because they know they're you never know when the last year is going to be. It could be this year, it could be next year. So I think they want to send him out as best as possible.
100%. Love that. Sweet. So Freddie Freeman obviously had a legendary postseason last year. He capped the World Series MVP performance, hitting a walk-off grand slam and homering in each of his 4 first games of that series with the Yankees. Who do you think is going to take the spotlight this October? Is it going to be Shohei, Freddie? Who on the Dodgers do you think is going to, be that guy, be the man that Freddie was last playoffs?
I think it's going to be Shohei. I'm really, really confident that we're going to see a locked-in, monstrous Shohei this October. I know last year it was his first postseason, first year with the Dodgers, still kind of getting acclimated to everything, learning about how to take care of his body in an extended season because all of his Angel seasons were cut short. And of course, he was still rehabbing at the time, but now he's been taking it slow. The Dodgers have been very, very careful with the innings he's pitched. Even yesterday, he was supposed to start. He wasn't feeling well, so they're like, all right, we're just going to cut it. I think he's saving. It's crazy to say because he's been historic. He's going to win MVP, but I think he's saving his best up for this coming postseason. And yeah, I think he's really going to lead the charge, and he's going to take over as that top guy. He's always been the top guy, but I think we're really going to see it in the numbers and the production this time around.
I love that. I mean, we talk about top guy, and it's interesting for a guy like Mookie Betts. For me, he's my pick to go off this postseason
I love
because
that too.
he's been a little quiet going into the season, but I think he's getting momentum at the perfect time. And it's hard that because he's kind of in the shadow nowadays, but it's like Mookie was an MVP on his own. We just, being on a team with Freddie and Shohei, he does, go a little under the shadow, especially hitting right after Shohei. But I think he's pulling up momentum a little bit at the perfect time. And I think this is Mookie's postseason. I just feel something different.
I like it now. I like that too. He's been through a lot this year, man. Starting out with that illness, and then of course lost his stepdad. Went through a really rough stretch. And there were people saying to put him in the hate hole. I was like, man, come on, this is still Mookie Betts. He still has all the talent in the world.
Too. I mean,
bro, thriving at shortstop, like and I feel you on that, Dean. I do see him going crazy this postseason too, and I just think you got to be grateful for a guy at 32, 33 years old willing to make that move to shortstop.
Love that. Okay, sweet. Last kind of baseball question, then we'll get into a couple personal questions. Again, appreciate you for helping on. This is great.
Of course.
So obviously covering the Dodgers. I know you said you've been there the past couple of years. I mean, even so, it's been a crazy couple of years winning the World Series last year. You go to a lot of home games. What has been the wildest atmosphere in Dodger Stadium that you've been a part of?
Oh man, that's a good question. I've been in some crazy ones for sure.
Witness.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, bad game one NLDS last year versus the Padres. That atmosphere was insane because, like I said, first year Shohei, and then just the juice between the Dodgers and Padres. It's still really high. It was really hot at the time too. And then I think Manny, he started out with the 3-run home run, and you could kind of feel all the fears coming back from the last 2 years. Everybody, I was seeing on X, everybody's like, here they go again, about to fizzle out, about to go outside in the DS. And then Shohei stepping up, showing emotion, flipping his bat, yelling, let's go when he tied the game, and then them going on to win that. That's definitely up there for me, man.
I love the Padres rivalry. I think, especially like Machado being with the Dodgers for a year, going to the rival team. And now, I mean, I think them having such a good season as well is kind of giving us some juice to be like, all right, we got to step it up. I mean, sure. I know it's just a couple games, but this October baseball is within a month. We're getting down to the wire now. I know. I mean, it scares me a little bit to be losing to poor teams such as the Pirates, but I think, in a series, I don't see us losing, back to back. So, the Padres there being scary. I mean, for me, I think not being there at the time, I wish I was, but the Freddie Freeman walk-off grand slam is probably the coolest moment in sports I'll ever witness for the rest of my life. It's weird to say that because it's like, I'm still young. I don't want to feel like I peaked already, but that was insane, man. I'll always remember where I was. I was in Colorado with a bunch of Dodger fans, with a bunch of Yankee fans at a bar. Awesome. And it was just, that game was insane, man. So I think that'll be hard to beat, but love that. Okay, sweet. This is something I just kind of came up with on the spot, but
let's do it.
Obviously, in this past, I guess, decade at least, even the 2000s, we have had some very big names as the Dodgers come and go. I kind of want to rank. We can just do top 3, top 5 favorite Dodgers that have been a part of the team.
Let's do it. We could go 1-1. We could go take
back and forth. We can get. We'll just go back and forth. So you can start. You're the guest, but just favorite Dodger this past decade. We'll say
past decade. All right. Okay, Matt Kemp counts because he came back. So I'll go Matt Kemp.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one. I mean, growing up, Matt Kemp was that guy. At my 1-1, I'm gonna go Puig. I'm gonna go.
That's a good one.
It'll be a sleeper pick, but man, Puig, he brought some fire and energy.
He was
to
fun.
Dodger Stadium. I mean, I wish he was still playing now. I'm not even sure what he's up to. I know he was playing overseas or something, but Puig was that guy.
Yeah, I wish he could have been a part of this era, man. I wish that had worked out because, he had already become such a big fan favorite. He would have been awesome.
Yeah. No, the home run in the playoffs and Kobe in the backgrounds like that. You see that picture? Yeah, it's awesome. Just LA loves Puig for sure.
All right, I'll go on my 2-hole. I'll go Mookie, man.
Okay.
Mookie's been my favorite player for a while, so I'll go Mookie number 2.
When he was on the Red Sox too, or just when he came to the Dodgers?
Oh, I loved him on the Red Sox too, man. Okay. Even I don't like the Red Sox. It's those teams that you hate, but it's that one talented superstar they have. Like, yeah, he was out. And then when he came to the Dodgers, it was just crazy.
No, I was gonna say, because I mean they beat us that year in the championship, so that was crazy. All right, you got Mookie and Matt Kemp. I got Puig, and I got to go Kershaw. I mean, Kershaw's pretty much my whole life. Kershaw's been here growing up. He's been our ace, longest Dodger tenure. He's getting there now, so it's still like sometimes when he pitches, I'm still like taking in the moment. I'm like, this is greatness right here. I don't know if we're gonna see this much longer.
All right, yeah, no, facts, bro, facts. That's a good one.
We'll do four. We'll do four total picks. Yeah.
All right, number 3, I'm gonna go with Cody Bellinger.
Okay.
Yeah, Cody Bellinger, man. That
enough said.
I wish they had never done that celebration.
Yeah.
Take out his shoulder.
Oh yeah, I mean, he's playing well now with the Yankees though. It almost hurts to see, but Belly's that guy. Okay, good strong 3 picks for my 3. I'm gonna go Justin Turner.
It's a good one. Yeah, I was thinking that too. Justin Turner's a
bit of a pull. I mean, again, one of those guys that I wish was still here. I mean, he was here for a minute, and he was definitely a fan favorite. So got to go JT.
All right,
cap it off with 4.
Number 4. Here we go. All right, number 4. I think I'm gonna have to go with so many good options, man.
No, I'm like what you do right now depends on what I'm doing because I'm
like that's funny. I was keeping Justin Turner as a sleeper too.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. I'll probably go with Freddie Freeman. I mean, you mentioned the walk-off grand slam. That like you said, that's gonna be the moment that we'll forever remember who we were with, where we were at, and I don't know if anything's ever gonna top that. I'll have to go Freddie.
For sure. I'll just say my 2 honorable mentions because it feels weird to leave this guy out that I got to pick. My honorable mentions: Jock Peterson and Corey Seager, both obviously crazy. Like their rookie years coming off was insane. Obviously, wishing them the best, but I got to take Shohei. I can't leave Shohei on the line. I mean, I know it's just been a couple years. He comes his first year, we already win the World Series, and he hasn't even shown the best of his pitching ability yet. He's like I mentioned earlier, he's going to be. He's going to end up being the GOAT of baseball.
Absolutely.
So being able to witness this in his prime right now, I know it's awesome that he came to the Dodgers just being from the Angels. But that's my guy. All right, well, I'll cook up a little graphic there, but let us know who y'all thought won that draft. And last question, just another random thing I just thought of. But you go to a bunch of Dodger games. Rank your 3 favorite snacks, favorite Dodger food. What do you grub when you're at Dodger Stadium?
I love talking about this. All right, number 1, I'll definitely go with some nachos, either just the plain ones, or I love the asada helmet too. Those always hit. Number 2, I actually tried this this season. They have like the little, it's like kind of like a hot Cheeto like type stand, and they do like spicy stuff. They have like a spicy chicken mac and cheese. I'll go number 2 for that, and then number 3, got to go with the churro sundae as a little dessert. Yeah. How about you, Dean? What do you like? What do you like to eat when you go to a game?
Leaving the Dodger dog off, it's crazy, bro. I think he's just gonna have to.
Man, bring back the Farmer John and maybe.
Yeah, sure, but I don't know. That's just like a staple for me when I go to the stadium. Got to go Dodger dog. I like just I guess like kettle corn, popcorn. I'm always getting something like that, or like the peanuts. One of those two is like my kind of go-to, and then I'll say like third is like. I'll just go like frozen lemonade or something. Like, it's been hot out past couple games, especially during the day game. So got to get something a little cooler. But sweet, man, dude. I appreciate you so much. Don't want to take up too much of your time. Hopefully we could cross path in the future and definitely respect for everything you're doing, everything Dodger Nation. Love to hear it. So we'd love to keep in touch and appreciate you guys all for watching. Hopefully we'll be doing insider chats, Lakers, Dodgers, Rams throughout the whole football season. And as we get into, playoff baseball, it's getting exciting. So thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you later.